What up, YouTube? This is GIOSTEALTHR1, and I'm coming to you with possibly my biggest fail doing RC upgrades at this point. And it's kind of frustrating because I really wanted to get this RC up and running, and I've seen other RCs like this out there right now, and they primarily look awesome, and I have not done nearly as much as I should have with this RC. So that being said, just let me come across and tell you this is the 1/16 scale E-Revo, aka the Merv. So let me give you a little bit of history on this RC. This RC was initially a mini gravedigger, 1/16 scale, which I ended up converting it into a 1/16 scale E-Revo at this point. So when before I ended up converting that system, another YouTuber, which is a really cool friend of mine, Dark Ecliptic Heart, ended up created an RC which I thought was pretty awesome from his creation. A little bit of RC history for you. He ended up creating an RC called Jester, and that's his 1/16 scale mini E-Revo. So primarily a little bit of knowing that he wanted to create a mini E-Revo, I ended up giving him the stock chassis. So the chassis that you see on his RC right now should be the chassis that I sent to him as a donation. So just a little bit of RC history for you. And the reason why I sent him my stock chassis is because I ended up utilizing this carbon fiber chassis for this RC. Now, this was a pretty cool concept from Integy that they ended up coming across and making a carbon fiber chassis, but this was one of the biggest frustrations that I had with this RC. The reason being is the body is too thick. Well, the chassis is too thick, and the body can't really sit on top of it really nicely like I want it to be, like if it was meant for the mini E-Revo. This would be great for Traxxas 1/16 scale RC, but at this point, you know, I cannot utilize this for the RC. This is one of the frustrations that I've had with this. Other than that, the screws that go below here were not long enough to go onto the inner part of the chassis, so this thing never sat right the way I wanted it to. Maybe in a later project I might build a 1/16 scale rally or something like that with this, but at this point this will go into its mini E-Revo bin. So that being said, a little bit of history, I'm going to come across and tell you what I have on this RC right now and where I've failed. So you guys know I do a lot of customized videos and a lot of RC stuff at this point. So I'll come across and run to you what I've done with this RC. As you can see, I have the wire mesh for the stock servo. This is a brush system. I was able to run it with the mini gravedigger. Now, since I did upgrade this for a 4x4, I ended up acquiring the diff and everything else that I needed to make this a 4x4 RC. As you can see, these are Proline trenchers for the mini E-Revo. That is Traxxas fake faux pas carbon fiber wing, Integy wheelie bar, and all of the green parts that I could possibly get it from RPM bumper front and rear, shock covers for the shocks themselves. And I think that is it from the upgrades that I've done with this RC. Oh, and green wheel nuts somewhere in there. You probably noticed it right there. But here's where I'm having a problem at. Now, I stopped utilizing this RC. I've never played with it, and that's the problem. That's the major issue that I'm having with this RC right now. Never once have played with it or had any type of fun, you know, interacting with this RC. I feel like I should stop and sell it as is, and you know, have somebody else have this RC. But you know, there are a lot of customized parts that I want to get with this. I know this can be an extreme RC for me to have. One day, me and Jason, Dark Ecliptic Heart, are gonna go against each other, RC versus RC, and see stuff like that. But as of right now, his Jester beats out this RC, you know, really quickly with the upgrades that I have on it. And the things that I just want to get on it is more green products. I want to dye the chassis. I just got this chassis the other day, so I want to dye the chassis black. I want to get green Integy aluminum parts like the shock rockers, the shocks themselves, the transmission case, and I think that's it, and maybe the mount for the motor. Now, as for the motor, you know, I've always wanted this thing to be a brushless system, and I've always wanted to go with the Valenian system and have that installed, but I've never been able to invest the money that I want to on this RC. This thing has been, I can't really say a money pit, but you know, just integrating little things here and there, it's never taken off the way I want it to. So, you know, am I annoyed seeing that brushed unit right there? It's very annoying to me. I ended up acquiring, before when I had the carbon fiber chassis, I ended up getting a waterproof receiver from Spectrum, but I don't need it anymore because I got the case back right then and there. So that's another annoying part that I ended up integrating into the RC, and hopefully it'll take off the ground. But, you know, I don't know. To me, this is one of my biggest epic fails in the RC thing. Now, I just want to go across with you of the things, also another things that I've gotten for this RC. Now, you guys know I always run with a bash body, and I run with my show body. So I ended up acquiring a bash body, which I was going to paint all the green to match it up, you know, with the RC and make it look like, you know, has its own feel with it, but definitely a green one. And then I had my custom body, which that was going to be integrated with the RC as well. So that's where I'm at with this. You know, I didn't think this was going to be such a long project. I think this project's been more than a year. It has to be more than a year and change maybe. So I don't know what to do. Give me your input on what should I do with this RC. I definitely want it to be something that's competitive, you know, with a lot of the cool RCs that I've seen out there for the MERV type systems. You know, I see a lot of them, you know, blue, green, blue and red, silver and white and stuff like that. And I wanted this to be all green. So this is where I'm at. I just wanted to give you an update of what's happening with this RC. Somebody sent me an email about, yo, what's up with the MERV that you have over there? What else are you doing with it? So I just wanted to give you guys a follow-up update with the RC, and hopefully maybe I'll get to invest something into this and, you know, have it take off the ground and let it be a little bit more competitive than what it is now. So tell me what you think about what I'm going to be doing with this RC. Rate, comment, subscribe, and turn my fellas up in YouTube. Later.